Learn something French!
Hi, welcome to episode number 5 of Learn Something French, the podcast for learners of French of all ages, skill and ability who want to learn something French. My name's Chris and I'm a French teacher, and today we're going all the way down to the south of France and we'll be analysing an article that was published in La Voix du Midi. It's a newspaper that's published in the south of France. And during my travels in France, it's one of the first things I always did when I came down to the south of France. It's to buy a copy of the newspaper, le Midi Libre, dans le sud de la France, to stay abreast of the local happenings, and it was part of the pleasure. It's something I traditionally did, is buy a copy of that newspaper, le Midi Libre. Mais aujourd'hui, on va dans le sud de la France pour lire un article publié dans La Voix du Midi. There are French people who are cringing listening to me imitate a very bad French accent, so I propose we get started. This is an article from La Voix du Midi, which I'll be reading once, twice, and even 3 times. And appearing on the screen is the original article. As you can see, it's an official ceremony. It's the opening of a leisure centre, and the children are there cutting the ribbon, and it's the grand opening day. So let's start reading the article. Aude. Les enfants vont profiter d'un centre de loisirs flambant neuf dans ce village près de Castelnaudary. Entièrement rénové, l'accueil de loisirs de la commune de Salles-sur-Aire est fin prêt à recevoir les enfants. Une bonne nouvelle alors que l'été approche à grands pas. I'll read it a second time. Aude. Les enfants vont profiter d'un centre de loisirs flambant neuf dans ce village près de Castelnaudary. Entièrement rénové, l'accueil de loisirs de la commune de Salles-sur-Aire est fin prêt à recevoir les enfants. Une bonne nouvelle alors que l'été approche à grands pas. And this time I'm going to translate it. Aude is a French department. Aude, le département de l'Aude. Aude is a department. Les enfants vont profiter d'un centre de loisirs. The children, les enfants, vont profiter, are going to enjoy, un centre de loisirs, a leisure center, flambant neuf, brand new, dans ce village, in this village, près de Castelnaudary, near Castelnaudary. And then they go on to say, entièrement rénové, entirely refurbished, completely refurbished, l'accueil de loisirs de la commune de Salles-sur-Aire. Now, I'm not too sure of this denomination here, l'accueil de loisirs. I'm assuming it means a leisure centre. L'accueil means the welcome of the leisure, so I'm assuming they mean the leisure centre, l'accueil de loisirs, or either it's a mistake, or not too sure about that. L'accueil, the welcome of leisure, de la commune. The commune could be translated by council. La commune, so it's a little administrative, yeah, it's the council, it's like the local council. Usually has to do with a postal code, a certain postal code, and every commune has a mayor who's responsible for this commune. Salles-sur-Aire, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. I probably should have looked it up, but Salles-sur-Aire, I don't know if you pronounce the final S. Salles-sur-Aire, I really don't know. Salles-sur-Aire, and I'm guessing that Aire is the river. Ers, the river Ers, I'm not sure. Est fin prêt, is at last ready, is quite ready, à recevoir les enfants, to receive the children, to welcome the children. Recevoir is to receive in the sense of welcoming, but it can also mean to receive an object. Une bonne nouvelle, a good piece of news. Une nouvelle is a news, a piece of news we say in English. Une bonne nouvelle, a good piece of news. Alors que l'été, at a time when summer, the summer, l'été approche à grands pas, the summer is approaching quickly. À grands pas, with big steps. It's approaching with big steps, à grands pas, and we'll come back to this later. So what can we say about this? Well, the first thing I'd like to talk about is vont profiter. The action of profiter, as you can see, it's an ER verb. It ends in ER, profiter, it's a type of verb. If you can do one, you can do 1,000. It's quite easy once you understand the trick, once you understand how they all work. Profiter has 2 translations, interestingly. So profiter is to make the best of, to enjoy. I'd say make the best of / enjoy. So you would say, it's always profiter of something. You're always profiting of something. So je profite de mon jardin. It could mean I'm making the best of my garden, or I'm enjoying my garden. Je profite de mon jardin. I'm making the best of my garden. I'm enjoying my garden. You can actually tell someone to profite. You know, when they go on holiday, you can tell them profitez bien, enjoy well, make the best of it, profitez bien. And in a different sense, it can also mean take advantage. Profiter de quelqu'un is taking advantage of someone. Il profite de ses amis could mean he's taking advantage of his friends. Il profite de ses amis, he's taking advantage of his friends. Another interesting word here is flambant neuf. Flambant neuf, flaming new it really means. Imagine flames, it's flaming new. Neuf means new. And in the feminine, by the way, it's neuve with a V. So il est neuf, elle est neuve with a V. Il est neuf, elle est neuve. Flambant neuf is a collocation. It's just two words that fit together. And in English we have collocations such as ill-tempered. You know, ill goes with tempered. You might say foul-tempered, but not really. It's usually ill-tempered, an ill-tempered person. So what that means is these two words always fit together. So flambant neuf are just two words that are usually stuck together. That's the way you say it. Other examples are strong coffee in English. A matter of great importance. You don't say a matter of big importance. We say a matter of great importance. Flambant neuf works exactly in the same way. So flambant neuf means brand new. Dans ce village près de Castelnaudary. Now the word village is quite interesting because usually ILL in French always gives you a long E. For example, la fille, the girl. La fille. The reason I'm stretching the E is because there's a double L. La fille. But there are three notable exceptions. La ville, the town, la ville. Le village, you actually hear the L. The word for 1000, mille, and the word gorilla, gorille. But some people do say gorille with a long E, but gorille. But certainly three exceptions, 1000, town and village. Mille, ville, village. Otherwise, when you see an ILL, you can be quite certain it's going to be a long E. Like she is kind, elle est gentille. And the E is slightly longer, elle est gentille. Voilà. On the next line, entièrement rénové is another collocation. Entièrement rénové, completely refurbished. That's the way you say it. So entirely renovated. Entièrement rénové, it's another collocation. That's the way you say completely refurbished. Entièrement rénové. The word accueil is quite interesting because it's many letters for not much. Accueil, but really you just ignore most of those letters. Accueil, it's like K-E-I. Accueil. Quite easy to say once you know. L'accueil de loisirs de la commune de Salles-sur-Ers. I'm guessing, I don't know, I want to say the final S now. De Salles-sur-Ers. I'm guessing I'm supposed to. I don't know why, my instincts tell me I'm supposed to. But maybe I'm off on that one. Et fin prêt. A fin prêt is something you wouldn't actually say, but that you do see in writing. Fin prêt. And I'm guessing they mean finally ready or quite ready. Fin prêt, quite ready. Et fin prêt, yes. And you have to understand the word fin as completely. Fin prêt, completely ready. Et fin prêt à recevoir les enfants. Une bonne nouvelle alors que l'été approche à grands pas. Alors que isn't really something you'd actually say when you speak. You use it in speaking usually when you want to contrast two behaviors. You might tell someone, well, you always do this, but I always do this. You never wait for me, whereas I do wait for you. For example, tu ne m'attends jamais, alors que moi oui. You never wait for me, whereas I do. That's the way you would use it usually in speaking. But here in this context it means something slightly different. It means at a time when. So it's a good piece of news at a time when summer is approaching quickly. Alors que l'été approche à grands pas. So it's a good piece of news at a time when summer is approaching quickly. And to finish this, I'd like to say something about à grands pas. It means with big steps. which really means quickly. That's the way you say it, à grands pas. However, I really wouldn't say it in a conversation to anyone. I'd expect this rather to be written. It would sound a bit corny, probably. And also where it gets tricky is that you can't apply it to everything. You can't say, oh, the storm is approaching à grands pas. L'orage approche à grands pas. It has to be used knowingly. It doesn't apply to everything. I think it mainly applies to events or dates. I would imagine saying Noël approche à grands pas. Christmas is coming quickly. Noël approche à grands pas. La fin de l'année approche à grands pas. So it's for dates and events rather. For some reason I wouldn't say notre rendez-vous approche à grands pas. Our meeting is approaching quickly. I wouldn't say that. Notre rendez-vous approche à grands pas. It doesn't really sound right to me. Then again, it's not really a problem. I wouldn't expect anyone to actually say it. I would expect to read it rather than to hear it. And this concludes episode number 5 of Learn Something French. I hope you've learnt something French and that it was useful. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. I'm Chris.